So hi, my name is Andy Glass. I'm the CEO of Vivasure Medical. We are in the process of enabling success for minimally invasive cardiovascular therapies. We're revolutionizing large hole closure for some of the fastest growing medical device markets in the world. Bit of a story. I grew up in Houston, proud Texan, and my grandfather went to grammar school with Denton Cooley. In fact, when my grandfather needed to have his cabbage, he went to Texas Heart Institute and he said, okay, I need a cabbage. I know Denton, can he do my surgery? And they said, Mr. Glass, we have many good young surgeons here at the Texas Heart Institute, because at that time, Denton Cooley was 75 years old, but he's still doing procedures. But Denton Cooley and his is known for a lot of different things and is considered one of the greatest surgeons all time. But he was an interesting man in the sense that he pushed the envelope many times. And actually, this is what got him in trouble the first time. So he actually did the first LVAD device in the history of mankind. And this LVAD device was developed there at the Texas Heart Institute. But Michael DeBakey, who was the chair of the department, said, don't do anything. We'll get to it when I'm back. But Denton Cooley had a patient, and over his superior's instructions, he implanted it. And this is the patient who survived 4 days on this device. But when DeBakey came back, he fired Cooley, and Cooley went across the street to start the Texas Heart Institute. And it started one of the great rivalries in surgery. In fact, this picture is in my office, the feud between Michael DeBakey and Denton Cooley. And indeed, heart surgeons for ages were kings of the hill in terms of medical innovation. But times changed, of course. And actually, heart surgery is probably the last area of surgery that went minimally invasive. And over the past 15 to 20 years, almost all heart surgery procedures can be done in a minimally invasive way. And in fact, this innovation, the transcatheter aortic valve replacement, which is one of the biggest medical device markets in the world, has changed cardiac surgery entirely. In fact, most of these cases are not being done by surgeons, they're being done by cardiologists now. But all of these procedures go through the leg. And so, because this market's growing so fast, what we've seen is actually the ancillary products related to this market have also grown tremendously as well. So, large hole closure, the closure of the leg access, is an exploding market. So right now, it's about $400 million market, but because of all these innovations that are coming and some of the people in this room are developing, we expect this will be a billion-dollar market by the end of the decade, just for the closure aspect of the market. And it's interesting that in transcatheter aortic valve replacement, the most common complication has nothing to do with the heart. It's with the access and closure. And you can look at many different data. These are sample data that I pulled. But you always see that vascular complications go between 5 to 15% depending upon operator, device, and dynamics. It remains a huge complication issue for current procedures. So these less than ideal clinical outcomes are caused by the technologies they use, either suture-based or collagen-based. And they really haven't evolved much in 20-something years. And that's where we come into play. So Vivasure, we've developed a technology called PerQseal. It has an amazing safety record. We've done many procedures without complications. We've done many trials where we had 0% rate of minor and major device complications. It's a very easy delivery, and it streamlines the closure procedure because there's no pre-procedure step anymore. Vivasure is based in the Medical Device Hub in Galway. We are an ISO 13485 company. Of note, we are fully MDR certified. We got on the MDR bandwagon at the beginning, and it has obviously got a bit delayed, but we're very proud of the quality organization that's there. We closed our Series D last year, so we were proud to, Haemonetics led it. It was just around 50 million euros, the Series D. We have a great group of investors. We won a Horizon 2020 grant, and that's fully been paid. So we've got a very good financial runway into 2024. I won't walk you through the procedure too much, but it's a very straightforward delivery system. This is our device that goes into a sheath that goes into the leg. There's one rotation which brings the sheath back. And then once the patch is opened up in the vessel, we bring it back to the vessel wall. And at this point, the operator can decide how they're going to move it, adjust it, and so forth. Then they pull their wire, and the final step is to unlock the system. One final rotation that puts a pin to hold the patch in place and releases the system. The system is 100% bioresorbable. We're the only fully bioresorbable solution on the market. And it returns the vessel to its native state at the end. And actually, you can see in these pictures here that we return the vessel to its native state in about 6 months. We've done 7 completed clinical trials, and we are now running 2 more clinical trials to date. We've got a fantastic safety record across our trials, which I'm quite proud of. What you see, as I mentioned this before, we have a very low complication rate. You compare us to some of the other devices in the marketplace, we tend to have much lower complication rates than the competition. And now, with the money that we raised last year, we are running our US IDE. We're about a third of the way through completing the IDE. We expect enrollment to complete around the end of this year, and that'll allow us to file our PMA probably early next year, and then in 2024 have US approval. And then you can see here the first patient that was done by Dr. Iyer in Buffalo. And we're coming a bit full circle. One of the sites that we're going to be using in our pivotal is the Texas Heart Institute, so there's a bit of irony that the area of surgery now we can go back to and say we have a very good solution to support minimally invasive cardiovascular procedures. But we're not stopping there. We're now working on a full portfolio of products that can simplify and make the procedure even quicker. So we're quite proud of our PerQseal Elite, which will any day now have its first in man. It's got an improved deliverability. We can use also for venous applications, up to 30 French venotomies. And like I said, any day now we'll do our first in man. And commercialization, we are commercial in Europe in a limited fashion. The thought is in 2024, particularly with the US approval, that will really ramp up our commercial activities, both here in Europe and in the United States. And that is Vivasure Medical. Thank you so much for your time, and I really appreciate the insights. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Thank you.